simple but very powerful incident. If we get a message from Swami, how do we internalize it and go with it 100% conviction that it is Swami's will and we should simply execute? Dr. Anilkumar completed his master's in sciences in 1986 from Satsangh Institute of Higher Learning. Once again, with Swami's guidance, he completed his doctorate in chemistry in the year 1990. Dr. Anilkumar was a faculty at Satsangh Institute of Higher Learning between 1991 and 2007. He had great academic performance and he was an excellent teacher. Recognizing this, he was conferred upon the meritorious Young Scientist Award by the All India Council for Technical Education, Government of India. He had the great fortune of leading the Vedam group in front of the Veda Purusha himself, our beloved Bhagavan, innumerable times. Dr. Anilkumar was personally groomed by Bhagavan to be a leader across domains, be it academics, hostel administration, or whatever. And so he is truly a Swami's product, and we are so happy to have him today. He had the great privilege, which I heard from him this morning, of officiating as the Mandir Pujari for 7 days in 2007. The story in itself is mesmerizing, and we would love to hear from Dr. Anilkumar today. He had the privilege of accompanying Swami to Kodai in the year 1994, which for all the students, it's indeed a dream. It's not even a dream, it's beyond that. I mean, that's the end goal to many of our students, and he had that privilege. In 2001, Dr. Anilkumar joined Tata Chemicals as the head of research and development. And currently, he is the Chief Scientific Officer at Mistry Ventures in Shapurji Palonji Group. Listening to him speak about how Swami answered each of his prayers could be something really nice. And I don't want to be in between Dr. Anilkumar and all of us who are waiting to listen. Thank you once again and look forward to this great satsang. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Patrigrama Samudbhutam Varakamayivasinam Bhaktabhishtapradam Devam Sainatham Namamyaham Om Patigrama Samudbhutam Prashanti Nilayavasinam Bhaktabhishtapradam Devam Sainatham Namamyaham. With prayerful pranams at the lotus feet of our Divine Lord, our Master and our dear Mother, our Swami, invoking His presence with all of us everywhere. At the very outset, I would like to thank Chennai West Samiti for giving me this wonderful opportunity to relive the golden moments that we had spent, that Bhagwan had blessed us all with. Thank you, Suresh Chandra sir. Thank you, Anand, for your kind words of introduction. I know Chennai, there are devotees who are long-standing, because Bhagwan had been going to this city from early 1960s. So there are long-standing devotees in this city, and my anubhava is very, very meager as compared to the glorious anubhavas that all the devotees of Chennai have had. But my strength is in the assurance I feel in the blessings of our Bhagwan, that He will guide me and correct my insufficiency and faults and make my effort of recounting Sai Bhagavatam with all of you a worthwhile and a joyful experience for every one of us. Every word of Vedam that we used to chant, that we chant even now, the reason I said when we used to chant is when in the physical presence, every word, every description, whatever little I could understand of Sanskrit was so remarkable and so fulfilling that we could see the Veda Mata, Veda Purusha right in front of us, embodiment of everything that is being said in the Vedas. For example, Tamso Smitam Hiranya Prakaram Ardram Jwalantim Truptam Tatpayantim. What a description of Bhagavan. It is description of Bhagavan sitting in Kulwant Hall. Hiranya Prakaram. Kulwant Hall is Hiranya Prakaram truly. Why it is gold all over. The whole roof of Kulwant Hall is gold. So it's Hiranya Prakaram. Ardram Jwalantim. The mother who is full of compassion, who is effulgent because of her compassion. Ardram Jwalantim Truptam Tatpayam, who is completely contented and who will lead everyone to the contentment, to cross this. What a description. Every word. So this is the joy, this is the blessing that all of us have had having come to Bhagwan. The blessing of having known Bhagwan. Just now in the last bhajan we heard, जीवन सफल बनाओ रे, साई चरण में आके जीवन सफल बनाओ रे. What is this जीवन सफल? When we are able to connect to the Lord who is all the time with us, who is within us, the life becomes safal, the life becomes fulfilling, the life becomes calm, fulfilling and contented. So this kind of contentment comes when we are able to connect to the Lord. And all of us have been blessed, singularly blessed with this wonderful opportunity of relating to God. I always used to think of this, the greatest blessing that every devotee has had with Bhagwan, that Bhagwan has bestowed to every devotee, no matter student, old devotee, very new devotee, or whoever comes to Bhagwan, even now whoever is coming to Bhagwan, the greatest blessing is that God becomes a living reality for all of us. God becomes someone with whom we can connect, someone with whom we can speak, and God becomes someone who responds to every prayer of ours. I think that's why Swami said in his 48th birthday discourse that our period of avatar is the period of bonanza for humanity. The period of avatar is a period of bonus for the humanity. The reason is, it every prayer, every thought for that matter, we could see a response. Every devotee in some way or the other felt the response of the Lord coming when he or she has prayed somewhere far away or thought about a small incident in the deep recesses of their hearts. A response comes from Bhagwan, reassuring that I am with you, I am listening to you. This is the wonderful experience. This is the experience which changes everyone's relationship with God. I remember one wonderful episode which I narrate very often, but it is very, very relevant for all devotees to understand. In 1984, Bhagwan used to give series of discourses on Bhagavad Gita. Immediately after the college, we all used to assemble in the Bhajan Hall, and Bhajan Hall Swami used to give discourses on one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So during that time, couple of faculty members in the institute were discussing among themselves that because whatever Swami speaks, whatever Swami does in the mandir becomes our topic of discussion or our life for the rest of the day in the campus. Bhakti used to be like that. Vrindavan also used to be like that. The day is spent thinking of Bhagwan, what Bhagwan has done during the darshan time the previous day. So when these faculty members were speaking, they thought, because Swami had spoken a day before on Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhyudhanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Sujamyam. So they were thinking, how is it true that every time avatar comes, dharma gets re-established? If we see from a human perspective, Rama avatar had come and it got changed to, after the end of Rama avatar, it became Dwapara Yuga. From Treta, it became Dwapara. Krishna avatar went, and from Dwapara, it became Kali. So, what is it that has happened from by the avatar's descent? There has been decline in dharma, not establishment of dharma. Treta to Dwapara, Dwapara to Kali, there is a decline in dharma. Where is there an establishment of dharma? Then how come Krishna has said, I come to establish dharma? I take avatar, I take presence among humans to establish dharma. How is it possible? So next day, this is what I was saying, Lord responds. In the following evening discourse, while speaking about one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Swami went on to this topic and said, some people think that avatar comes and there is a decline of dharma. So how is it that avatar establishes dharma? Exact question Swami posed. And Swami said, what is the dharma that Krishna referred to when he said, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya? Which dharma has Krishna referred to? Then Swami explained, there are two dharmas. One is Deha Dharma, other is Atma or Prema Dharma. And Swami explained that Deha Dharma keeps changing. It's a cycle. Kruta becomes Treta, Treta becomes Dwapara, Dwapara becomes Kali, and it goes round again in circle. It keeps on changing. That is not of concern to Bhagwan. That is not of concern to the divine. What is of concern is Prema Dharma. When the relationship of the Jivatma with the Paramatma becomes weak, when that connect between the human and the divine becomes weak, divine incarnates himself to re-establish that connect, to re-establish this link between this love between the human and the divine, this engagement of the human with the divine, this trust of the human with the divine is re-established by the advent of the avatar. Now, if we look back and sit back and think about our lives, lives of every devotee, this is what has exactly happened in our lives. Our link with our master, the divine who is within, has got re-established through his bestowing his love and experiences, anubhavas on all of us. So I'll recall a few anubhavas from what I have experienced. But this is what is the blessing is that he gives this anubhavas so that we can connect to him. As it is said, Anbe Shivam, Shivame Anbe. Love is God, and because of his love, he bestows these blessings on all of us. So this has been my experience too, that every prayer, every good thought for that matter, was responded by Bhagwan. I'll give you, it is not that we were great tapasvis that Swami used to respond to our thought or prayer. It was out of his love to show us how to connect to him, to show us that he's all the time with us, is to respond. I'll give you one simple but a very beautiful experience which is etched in my memory. This was during Vrindavan times. I was a garden boy when I was in my PUC and degree, BSc. I used to work in the garden. because obviously garden boys used to get some chances with Bhagwan. So garden was an attraction. So Swami used to visit hostel very often during that time. So as Swami visits the hostel, the garden boys become very active 2 or 3 days before. The reason is the hostel garden, which is in Vrindavan. As soon as we enter, if we look down, the basement is the garden. So garden is immediately visible to Bhagwan as soon as he comes before going to the dining hall. So all along the way, Swami can see the garden. So the minute we got the message that Swami may be visiting the hostel in a week's time or so, we immediately got on to our works of cleaning up, sprucing up the garden. And you know, Vrindavan plants grow very well. It's a place where there's a lot of bounty of nature, I would put it as. So, I took the pathway plantation, so salvia and asters, good salvia and asters were actually growing in nursery. So they had come to flowering. So along the path from dining hall to the basement across Krishna, if you see the straight line, those of you who have seen Vrindavan, Anand will be able to connect to this immediately. There is it's like a four pathway. It's like a four-way, but there is one which is straight from dining hall. You get down, you walk, you go behind Krishna, come in front of Krishna, then climb up the steps and come to the first floor. Right. So that pathway I had put salvia and asters, and fortunately, by the time Swami came that day, all of them were in full bloom. It was looking like a wonderful path because both sides were complete flowering plants. So I had being a garden boy, I did not run towards dining hall. I was standing at the basement inside, is facing Krishna. That's where we used to have, I think at that point of time, I don't know whether it is there now, hair cutting saloon was there. So I was standing next to that in the basement and praying. And this was a thought. It was not a prayer. A thought came to me that this path looks so beautiful. How beautiful it would be if Swami walks through this path and means blesses our efforts. It was just a stray thought. I was standing there and Swami, this was after the function got over, discourse got over, Swami was going back. I came and stood there because from there also we can see Swami going, climbing the steps and going towards the main gate of the hostel. I was standing there at the basement, and to the surprise of everyone, Swami, instead of taking a left turn, going towards the steps and climbing, he walked down the dining hall steps, came straight into the garden, and because everyone was expecting, all students, everyone were expecting Swami will go via the steps and the first floor. Everyone was standing there. So hardly anyone was there in the basement, especially in the garden area. So myself and few garden boys were there. Swami walked through exactly the path that I was praying for, walked across. As he was climbing up those steps, he just looked at me from the corner of his eyes, which I can't even now forget that look, with a sweet smile and walked up. So a small prayer, a small effort. It wasn't a great effort. The small plantations that we had put, and so it brings tears to the eyes because he didn't have done that. Everyone was waiting there. Flower path was put across the first floor. Here there was no flower path because we didn't expect Swami will come through the garden. It was only kept clean and neat so that Swami can, as Swami comes in, it will look beautiful. But Swami walked through the garden, walked through between those flowering plants, giving immense joy to all of us. So especially I was thrilled because that was a experience that those plantations I had put. So there was some connect. So these, as I said, a small thought. This was constant recurrence near Bhagwan. A small good thought is to immediately respond. And there was never a dearth or a difficulty or um, what should I say, lack of time for him to bestow this blessing on us. I'll give you one more similar small experience which I had again in Vrindavan. I used to go to one of the rooms, empty rooms in Vrindavan, means few of us. I had my own altar there. So I used to worship Swami. And there was one pose of Swami which was like my uh, photograph which I used to worship. That was the pose that I used to always think of at that point of time. So I used to give Arati also to it when Swami was not in Vrindavan. It just so happened, this was 3 years like that I was doing. And to show that Bhagwan receives this and he is with me during the prayer, one morning in Vrindavan, this photograph is actually the photograph in Vrindavan. I hope you will be able to see this. Are you all able to see? This was in old Vrindavan. Old Vrindavan, there was a bhajan hall. And that bhajan hall, on the side wall of the bhajan hall, there used to be a 3D art, 3D sculpture of a tree branch on which a peacock is perched. So this was at the both ends of the bhajan hall. Swami used to be always sitting in the middle of the bhajan hall. Rarely their boys used to be sitting there. Rarely Swami used to go there. One morning, Swami was coming out of the safe room. Swami came back from Bangalore, went to Bangalore to visit some devotee's house. And completely unusual. No one expected. Swami came, and before he went up the steps, this sculpture is right next to the steps which lead to Swami's chambers. So before he got into the staircase, Swami said, Arati Bandi, get the Arati. So everyone was surprised. They were running around. Finally, they got the Arati. I was also there. So it just so happened, because it was not planned, Arati plate was put in my hand. I was asked to do the Arati. I was a student, one of the juniors there. So I took the Arati, and what Swami did, as we started singing the thing, Swami went to that sculpture, stood exactly like the way Swami is standing in this photograph. Can you believe that? It's something even now when I think back, how did Swami make this happen? He stood exactly in this pose, right? Exactly in this pose, exactly at the point where this sculpture, this small, you can see the tree branch and a bit of the peacock feather, right? So Swami stood there exactly in this pose, took the Arati as I was giving, and smiled and walked up. But it was such a connect to me. I realized that a photo, that he knows everything. It's a very casual. It just was that Swami suddenly asked for Arati. So we gave Arati. It all looked like as though it just happened. But there was a deep connect. There was a message to me that I know this is how you are praying to me. I receive every prayer of yours. This is how he responds. Like Brother Anand mentioned, even the puja opportunity at Mandir was such a yeah.
I think there is a lot of comment that we are getting in YouTube that people are not able to hear well. Could you please try without the headset? Can you just try speaking directly onto the phone?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Is it okay now? Without the headset. You want me to take out the headset?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Can you try that?
How is it now? Is it better?
Yeah. Can you try for 2 minutes? I'll wait for the feedback from the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, can you continue?
Is it better now?
Yeah, it is. It's very audible. Clearly audible. Sorry for the interruption.
Sorry for that.
No.
You could have told me right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were just getting the feedback right now.
I hope all could hear. It's Bhagavatam. Like Swami, in one of his discourses, I remember very clearly, this was in summer course. Towards the end of summer course, Swami said, the way all of you can get bliss in life is to do Parayanam of Bhagavatam.
Okay.
This is what even Vedavyasa experienced. Swami also said it in his discourse. So Sai Bhagavatam is what all this satsang is all about.
Yes.
Giving his memories, because the way he has bestowed very, very, very simple experiences. Where the sweetness is his, the beauty of these experiences, these anubhavas. I won't call it experiences because experience is a very a word which does not convey it. It doesn't have bhava in it. Anubhava has a lot of bhava in it. So anubhavas are the ones that he bestows because it makes us really connect. Each of these small sweet experiences connects us with him almost in a irreversible manner. We are forever his, and there's no looking back after that. So that's the kind of connect. Though it's a very simple experience that he gives, but in that small experience, so much is conveyed. That is why maybe explaining his glory, Vedamata opens in Mahanarayana Valli. It opens the very suktam with saying, Ambhasya pare bhuvanasya madhye nakasya prishte mahato mahiyan. The mahato mahiyan, the glory of the Lord is like Ambhasya pare bhuvanasya madhye nakasya prishte. Ambhasya pare, the end of the ocean, is not visible, but we know it is there, right? Then is it only that much? No, no, no. Ambhasya pare bhuvanasya madhye. It is like in the center of the universe, which we can't even see. Maybe we will be able to see the end of the ocean, but will we be able to see the center of the universe? Maybe we can imagine, think of center of the universe. But is it all? No, no. Nakasya prishte, end of the whole heavens, which even in our dreams or imaginations we can't even imagine. So the glory is so vast and so enormous that neither can we imagine it nor can we gauge it, but we know the glory is all the time there. Because each and every devotee, all of us actually, I am only narrating, but all of you also will be connecting to it with each of you with your own experiences. Every devotee has had and is having, continuing to have experiences. It is just that many times I feel this. It is just that we are not attentive enough. Actually, God, Swami is all the time responding. Even now, for this moment, also, I think he's responding to some prayer or the other to some of us. If the prayer is wanting him, if it is a good prayer, right? And we sometimes don't see his hand. That's why in Veda, again, it is said, Paroksha Priya Ivahi Devaha. In Mahanyasam, this comes, Paroksha Priya Ivahi Devaha. It seems God likes to be Paroksha, not Pratyaksha. Why is something we have to ask him. We don't know. But Paroksha also can mean a beautiful other meaning when we split the word. Para Aksha. Para is different. Aksha is I. So we cannot see with our normal eye his glory. We have to see with our inner eye. We have to connect with the Para Aksha. Then we will be able to see him, see his hand in every small thing that we are doing. So this has been, I think, is the experience of all of us, that every good thought is responded to. One such experience I'll give you, which is completely unthinkable for me. I never thought it will ever happen in my life. And that is that experience of getting an opportunity to worship Saishwaralingam, to give arati to Bhagwan in his physical form. I never expected actually. But it just so happened when Atirudra Mahayagam was going on in 2006, after I saw that lingam, I don't know, something happened within me. It just, I felt, even now whenever I think of that lingam, I feel my only life is to keep worshipping that. Internally I am continuing to do that. But the minute I saw that lingam, Saishwara lingam, I felt, Lord, how beautiful it will be if I can worship this, if I can do archana to this lingam. It was just a very though a deep prayer, it was just a one-off prayer. Means I didn't constantly think of it, but all the same, very deeply I felt I should worship the Lingam. And circumstances just happened. One day, as we were chanting Vedam in April 2007, Chakravarti sir calls me and says, Bhagwan's instructions from tomorrow morning, we should be doing the worship in the mandir, and which obviously means the arati in the after morning bhajan and evening bhajan. It was a wonderful experience. I relive those days every moment of my life now, because Bhagwan used to be having that mischievous smile on his face when I used to give arati. He used to say, I want a pujari who has a pilaka, not a pujari who is like this. So he used to make a lot of fun, but it was a blessing, a prayer which immediately gets answered. This has been the experience. This is the experience. This will continue to be the experience of every devotee of Bhagwan. He is so sweet. He is so merciful that constantly he bestows us with beautiful said, I was blessed by Bhagwan to take, especially a lesson which I always remember. He gives the strength to, when we do something that he asks us to do, the strength to do that also naturally comes with that very Agnya. Agnya and the Shakti are not separate. Agnya and Shakti. It's like Siddha Sankalpa. Swami's thought and the action, there's no gap. There's no gap between the meaning of the word and the meaning. There's no gap between the Agnya and the Shakti, the Swami's Agnya and Swami's Shakti. Agnya comes, Shakti automatically is embedded in the Agnya. This was my personal experience. Anand was very loving enough to say I was good at all the subjects, but no, I was very weak at chemistry, extremely weak at chemistry, extremely comfortable with maths. That was my condition till my degree. But Bhagwan always, I think, this is another experience. He makes us face our weakness so that we come out more confident, more energetic, and more confident that nothing can stop me. The reason is he makes us face what is weak. We are weakest. I was weakest in chemistry. He made me face. So it was a shock when Swami said in the dream, "You take chemistry." I was still, my heart was saying I should follow it. My head was saying, "No, no, no, this can't be. You can't be taking this. You will not be able to do," because I was extremely weak. Nothing used to get into my head. That was the condition. But then I took chemistry, joined Patti campus, and my difficulty continued. I was not understanding what was happening in the classroom. You will not believe this. We are just four of us in the classroom, and our professors, Professor Krishna Swami sir, even now I go to him. The way he used to teach and the standard at which he was compared to what we were. See, just to give you a background, the reason we had to select the course in PG was because as I was doing my degree, Vrindavan College shifted from Bangalore University to Satsangh Institute of Higher Learning. So when I joined the degree course, it was Bangalore University affiliation. Midway, we got affiliated to Satsangh Institute. So our syllabus was Bangalore University syllabus. So we finished our BSc with Bangalore University syllabus, and you know, Satsangh Institute syllabus is top class. It is IIT and more than that, I would say. So from Bangalore University, when I moved to Satsangh Institute for my PG, it was like a shock. Shock also is not the right word. It was something beyond the shock. So nothing is to understand because there was a huge gap. huge gap between what I learned in my degree and what I was learning in PG. And it was very difficult to bridge this gap, and I was really struggling. I was desperate, crying some days. Then fortunately Swami gave interview during the second month of MSc, if I remember. Then during that interview I held Swami's hands and said, Swami, I will do anything you ask me to do, but for chemistry. Don't tell me to do this chemistry anymore. I will discontinue MSc and stay here. You tell me whatever else. You tell me to just stay here in Mandir, do some work in the Mandir, fine. You tell me to do next year, you tell me to do some other MSc course, fine. But I can't do this chemistry. I mean, nothing is getting into my head. Swami didn't bother. Swami just brushed me aside. Other people in that interview. It was going on, and end of the interview came. Swami was distributing vibhuti to everyone. I felt if this opportunity I lose, I'm gone case. So I held that basket, vibhuti basket. I said, oh, Swami to give me vibhuti. I closed the basket. I said, Swami, I can't do this. I just can't do this. Then Swami just forcefully pulled out vibhuti packets and then looked in my eyes and said a beautiful statement, which became my uh, way of working from then on. Swami said, do it as my worship. Na puja kinda chahiye. Do it as my worship. And so once Swami says, do it as my worship, I had, there's no argument. I can't say I will not worship you, Lord. Our very existence is to worship Him. So I said, fine, Swami. Then I just took the vibhuti, came out, and from that day onwards, every time I used to sit in front of the chemistry books, I would say, Swami, this is your worship. Now you do what you want. I am doing whatever I can. This is your worship. And brothers, you will not believe, things turned round. And I started understanding and started performing very well. Went on to do, means be very successful in this profession. So who gives this strength? Is the question. A person who had no feeling of how to go through this subject, good enough. It's purely His grace, His ability, and even to this day, it is His worship every time as I do this job. That's why chemistry becomes easy for me, because Bhagwan Himself said it is His worship. So I do my profession, it is still His worship, because He personally has said, whatever you do with this subject is my worship. So this was the blessing. So this is how He blesses, He gives this strength, He ensures that our connect with Him is become stronger and stronger day by day, moment by moment. The more we live in Him, the more we get connected with Him. That's where one song which was very close to me, which even now I keep listening to very often. This was sung by, get the name of the singer, I think, Soundararajan sir. When he had come to Bhagwan during my degree PG time, and he sang this, Ullam Urudaya Muruga Unnadi Kalgaile Alli Anattidave Alli Anattidave எனக்கும் ஆசை பெருகுதையா முருகா உள்ளம் உருகுதையா உள்ளம் உருகுதையா. Really, heart brims with joy when we think of it. That is the connect which He has with each one of us. It is every look of his, he's so enchanting. Every form, every movement of his was enchanting. His beauty used to first capture us, then his love used to capture us. A combination of beauty and compassion is a very rare thing to get, right? So it was a blessing for all of us, and to live in the physical presence. There are so many, we can go on and on and on. I don't know how much time is there for me.
Saram, you have another 25 minutes with
Yeah.
another 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
So then, so these experiences are so thrilling. I would recount another, means even during the Vedam time, as we were chanting the Vedam, there were so many small messages that Bhagavan used to give. And again, the way he used to convey the message was a very subtle way of conveying the message. At the same time, a very sweet way. Like I was chanting one day the Ganapatatarvanshesham, all of us were chanting Ganapatatarvanshesham. And during those times, Swami used to come in the golf cart, means open it was. And as Swami was coming from Trahi, we started the Vedam. And then as Swami was coming nearby, we were in the Ganapata Tarvanshesham. And I was thinking, what a wonderful opportunity to say, Tam Brahmas, Tam Vishnus, Tam Rudras, Tam Indras, Tam Agnis, Tam Vayus, Tam Suryas, Tam Chandramas, Tam Brahma Bhut, Bhuvas, Varum. As I was saying this, I was thinking, Lord, I have you right in front of us, and we are saying this. So you are everything. I was very deeply involved. And as Swami came to Vedam boys, he got down from the golf cart. He asked the golf cart to stop there, got down. And as Swami was getting down, this was what I was chanting. And what Swami did, Swami started chanting this and showed his hand to me like this. Means you are also all this. It's a very deep message if you carefully follow. Tvam Brahmas, Tvam Vishnus, Tvam Rudras, Tvam is our reality too. So a very subtle way he just was chanting. If he was just chanting, then we will think that he is repeating along with us. But no action of his is a casual action. He showed his hand in a very casual manner towards, because I was thinking like this and chanting, he looked at me and showed the hand and said, Tvam Brahmas, Tvam, and Swami was chanting. So as I was saying, you are everything, Swami was saying, you are also everything. See the message, a very subtle way. Everything, so he takes us to that level. He wants us to go to that level of realizing that we are but an image of his. It's a journey. It's a journey. But he makes us understand that he is the doer. He initially, what I have seen in my anubhavas with Bhagwan is, he initially connects, makes us feel one with him. That is why Jiva Prajna, Daiva Prajna. Jiva Prajna we have to connect to lead to Daiva Prajna. So as we connect to Jiva Prajna, he takes us slowly to that Daiva Prajna. And how does that happen? By giving experiences where he shows that you aren't the doer. As I said, the whole chemistry profession itself is showing that I am not the doer. He is doing it. His strength is making it happen. Similarly, one more beautiful, again a subtle experience which I narrated a couple of times earlier was during the Vedam time again. We used to get initially from 2003 to 2007, there was no set pattern. Means Rudram, Namakam, Chamakam, Putrashuktam. There was no set pattern. And this day of the week, this will be chanted. Nothing was there because we were still picking up all the suktas. And Swami was merciful and patient enough to give us the opportunity to pick up new suktas each day, so that we don't repeat in front of him as he was sitting for a long amounts of periods of time. So So what to chant after which suktam? As Swami used to sit for quite extended period of time, sometimes 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Swami used to be sitting in Kalvan hall stage and just listening to Vedam. So we had to continuously keep changing from one suktam will get over, then next suktam has to start, and then maybe Taitya Upanishad we have to take up. So which one to take after what had to be planned based on Swami's uh, activities, whether there are VIPs there, whether there are school students there, whether there are primary school students there. So all these things had to be taken into consideration. So what we had thought was the list will be made and kept below, and Vednan sir will take the lead as because he was constantly concentrating on chanting. What should go after what I used to show on that printed sheet. Down below I used to show with my finger, and he used to see from his corner of his eye and pick up that next as the next mantram to be chanted. So to put it in a very short way, I was like the Vedam DJ. Okay, so I used to show what should go after what. And after a while, because Bhagwan used to enjoy the way we used to mix Upanishad with Suktas, with Rudram, and it's all a mixed match we used to do. There was nothing like a set pattern. It was all a mixed match. And even in the Upanishads, Mahanayana Valli, we used to pick different portions each day. It was not a because the whole Valli lasts for too long. So we used to pick different portions. So it was a mixed match that we used to do each day. Each day used to be different. So I was getting very thrilled that I'm able to do a great job. That too in Vedam. With very little knowledge of Sanskrit and Vedam, hardly any knowledge, I would say. I am actually nothing in this vast Vedic knowledge. So, but still, with his grace, it was going very well. Swami used to like it. Vedam boys used to enjoy. Everybody used to enjoy. So, I slowly started getting the feeling that I know a lot of this stuff. I know pretty lot of what to mix with what and which mantram has to follow, which mantram and which mantram sounds great. All that I was thinking, a little bit of ego was getting into me. In short, since Swami has his own way of explaining or conveying the messages. So at that time, I used to go to North Indian canteen to have my lunch after college, go for lunch there, and then get back to college. So I was in the North Indian canteen, standing in the line. Behind me, father and son conversation. Son was saying, "Father, I'm very thrilled today. So thrilled, I can't explain." Father said, "What happened?" This was after their morning darshan. They would have gone to bookstore or something. So they came for lunch. So the son explained, "See, I know only one suktam, Meda suktam." And I was desperately wanting to chant that when Swami was on the stage. I was praying, "Swami, in front of your physical presence, I want to chant this. This is my only prayer, Swami, please bless me." And as I said that, the next mantram that they chanted was Mera Sutram. Then I just heard this conversation, but suddenly it struck me and it was like a bolt hitting me. Someone is praying somewhere in Kulvanthor. And I am thinking I am showing Mera Suttam to be chanted next. What? How foolish of me. It is Bhagwan. The prayer is being received by Bhagwan. And he is making my hand move, my mind think the way he wants me to think. So this is how very subtly he conveys a very profound message. From then on, I realized, no, Swami, I am not doing. You are doing. You will make my hand move. You will make me think as you want me to think. And whose prayer you are answering at what point of time, we have no idea. So this is the kind of the beauty of Bhagwan's interaction is they are never chided. They are never shouted at. You are becoming egoistic. You are becoming you are foolish. None of these things were told. It's a very sweet, loving, and even for me to understand the conversation in the way that I should understand is His grace. He is making me think, listen to that conversation, think about it, and understand it the way he wanted me to understand. So this is how he is all the time with us, guiding us through and through to make us understand that he alone is the doer. And if we are able to reach to that stage where he alone will do what he wants us to do, we are just, in fact, one very beautiful experience. This was my father's 75th birthday. We were all called for interview. Swami was in Vrindavan. We came to Vrindavan. Swami called all of us for interview. That time my sister asked Bhagwan, Swami, we have heard so many discourses from you. We have heard so many of your messages. You have personally told us also so many times, so many various things. Tell me, Swami, how should I live so that you are pleased with me? What should I do so that you are pleased with me? Please tell me this, Swami. Then Swami said, consider yourself as an instrument in my hand. Always live in the thought that you are an instrument in my hand. That's all you need to do, and Swami will be happy. So if you are able to reach to that state, in fact, that morning prayer after Suprabhatam, which Swami himself has written for all of us to chant, O Lord, take my love and let it flow in the fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my thoughts and mind and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be Thy instrument working for Thee. This is a prayer which Bhagwan has written personally, which needs to be chanted by everybody every day. So the last sentence ends with saying, take my everything, O Lord, let me be Thy instrument working for Thee. So if you are able to constantly live, relive, and remind ourselves that we are but His instruments, I think rest He will do what He has to do, because instrument does not know how the sounds are produced. A harmonium does not know how the sound is produced. It's produced by the player of the harmonium. So there is nothing more we can say to that. We are an instrument means the instrument really does not know anything. What we have to do next, we have no idea. It will be done by Him. So it is His plan. The way He leads us, we are His and will remain His now and forever. So thanking you all for giving me this wonderful, beautiful opportunity of thinking about His message, thinking about His sweet experiences which He has given to all of us. I will close with a small prayer which Kulshekar Alvar prayed to the Lord. He says, Majjanmanah Alamidam Madhukaita Mat Prarthaniya Madanugraha Esha Eva Tvad Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itimam Smara Lokanatha. The reason I enjoy this is, we are saying it does not matter. He says seventh generation. Tvad Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itimam Swaralok, seventh generation servitude, seventh generation servant. Your servant, doesn't matter. Seventh generation or nth generation. As long as you think of me, Smaralokanatha, you think of me as your servant, O Lord. That is Majjanmanaha Palamidam. That is the pala you will give me for this life. You think of me as your servant. Does not matter. It need not be direct servant to you. Servant also doesn't matter, but you think of me as your own servant, O Lord. I think that is enough blessing that I pray for from Bhagwan. And again, thank you for this beautiful opportunity. Sai Ram.
Sairam. Sam, that was a very inspiring talk, also thought-provoking. in many ways. We have some questions that we've got from the audience. It will be nice if you can help us address some of that. Okay. One of the questions goes like this: Sai is one universal Lord, and he is the resident of every heart. But why no solution as yet for the coronavirus problem that we face? Do we need to
repeat the question once again, Anand?
Yes.
Just repeat the question once again.
So, yeah, Sai is our universal Lord, and he is the resident of every heart. But we still don't have a solution for the coronavirus problem. Should we pray deeper? What should we do? How do we?
Yeah. So, in my limited understanding, I am sure there are elders here who know better. But from in my limited understanding, what I have understood of this whole pandemic is that humans are continuing to do or are doing things which are destroying the nature, things which they aren't supposed to do. So the only way nature has to, it is action, reaction, resound, reflection. Swami says everything is reaction, resound, reflection. When our thoughts, when I am saying our, I am meaning the humanity at large, not just few Sai devotees. Humanity at large are creating so much of negativity. We turn on a news channel, we open a newspaper, it is negativity, negativity, negativity all along. When humans at large are creating so much of negativity, and if whole world is nothing but reaction, resound, reflection, this is a truth, it can't be changed. It is law of karma, law of reaction, resound, reflection. So it naturally comes back. So what should we do? Increase the positivity as much as possible. Spread the positivity, increase the positivity. That is how, see, because Lord, the way He, as I understand, He has given some small element of free will for each one of us. We can either choose to be having negative thoughts or choose to be having positive thoughts. Thoughts are definitely in our ability to, I won't say control, but ability to control. Right? So if we are able to push ourselves to think more and more of positivity, create more and more of positivity, think only positive, then as this positivity increases, there will be positivity which will come back to all the humanity. In fact, that is why our ancients, there in Hindu dharma, it is always said that we are able to survive, world is surviving right now because of the tapas of the rishis and the maharishis and tapasvis who are there in Himalayas and who are doing the tapas. We always believe that it is the positivity that those elevated souls create that is sustaining the universe, the world, even in spite of so much of negativity we are creating. So as Sai devotees, in fact, in conversations with Hislop, Swami said this. Hislop asked Swami, you said that the world will be a better place and so many devotees of yours are there, but where is the world a better place? Then Swami in the conversations to Hislop made exactly the same statement. Swami said, the world is as it is right now, even to this much extent is because of my devotees. It is because of the positivity that the devotees have created. So it is more and more and more positivity, positive we think, positivity we create. That is, in fact, I remember very well, now I recall, in one of the letters that Bhagwan wrote, it was in 1980, if I am right, you can refer to Premadhara. Swami mentioned, I was in my first PUC, second PUC then, Swami mentioned this, that just taking Sai name, Namasmarana, is also service to society, service to humanity. Right? You are creating positivity. Right? So, constant Namasmarana also is service to humanity. Chanting Rudram is service to humanity. Why? We are praying for not for ourselves, but we are praying for everybody in our community. Asmin grame Indrape andadaspade daridrannidalohita esham purushanam esham pashunam mabhermaromo esham kimchana mamat yate rudra shiva tanu shiva vishvaha beshaji shiva rudrasya beshaji tayanu mrda jivase imagum rudraya tavase kapardine kshayadviraya prabharamahe matim यथा नश्यमशद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन् अनातुरम् द्विपदे चतुष्पदे अस्मिन् ग्रामे have to be safe. We are praying for two-legged as well as the animals in our full community. Grama need not mean a small village. Grama can be a city. Grama can be the whole country. It is our expansion in our thoughts, right? So we are praying constantly. In fact, for that matter, even Gayatri, we say Om Bhur Bhuvasvah Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodaya. Naha means our. It is not my. It is not my dhi that you should be illumined. It is our dhi, our intellect which should be illumined. So every prayer is a collective prayer. Vedamata always is expansive. It allows, it makes you do only collective prayer. There is no individual selfish prayer. So collective prayers, as we keep on increasing, as we have pray for the multitude, at a point of time, our positivity will nullify the negativity and there will be peaceful world. That's my understanding.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. The second question, sir, we all get attracted to, as you said, the beauty of Bhagavan before we are enamored by the divinity of Bhagavan. Right? So in the absence of Swami's physical form, which we so much cherished during Swami's physical presence, with Swami not being there physically, how do you connect to Swami now? That's one of the questions.
I think I should recall one small experience for this.
Please.
Once Swami asked some of the boys, as we were sitting around Bhagwan, Swami said, devotees, have you seen the devotees during the darshan time? They are thrilled. One look of mine of Bhagwan's and they are thrilled beyond explanation. And herein I am sitting with you for hours together. You are spending so much time with me, still you are not happy. Why? And Swami responded saying that because they do contemplation, they recapitulate. The one experience that Bhagavan gives, as we keep reliving that experience, when that experience recurs again, you are in thrill. You are experiencing me day in and day out, but you don't think about me in your mind. You are not reliving the experiences. Therefore, there is no joy. So, I think now what we can do is Bhagavatam. Relive the experience, and nowadays we are also fortunate because the technology is helping us. YouTube, Swami's darshans are available, right? So, we can relive the experiences continuously, right? The more we relive, the more joy we'll feel, the more we'll get connected to him. Even when he was there physically, even when he is not there physically, reliving is the contemplation is the key to happiness. Without contemplation, there is no key, there is no happiness. We are still spending time with Bhagwan, but there is no joy. Unless we contemplate, there is no joy.
That's true.
So, contemplation is possible even now. Right?
So true. Yeah. Great, sir. Sir, we all make mistakes, or mistakes made by people with the sankalpa of Bhagwan, or is it our own making?
If you look at it from a very, very broad perspective, a deep truth perspective, everything is his will. But if you look at it from again I'll recall one beautiful experience for this, a very, very good question. So I need to recall an experience for this so that it will convey the message very clearly.
Yes.
This is what Swami used to tell: don't ride two horses. You will have an accident. 100% you will have an accident if you ride two horses. What does it mean by saying two horses? Swami, this was an experience during my PhD time. When we joined
Sairam, I think we have a disruption here. Anilkumar, Sairam, can you hear us? Sairam? Okay. I think we have some technical difficulty. We are not able to. But what a beautiful experience that he's been sharing. I thought I would share my own takeaways while we hope to reconnect back with Anilkumar Sairam. Agnya and Shakti, both is given by Bhagavan. All we need is the conviction to implement Swami's Agnya, and the Shakti will automatically come through. And as I said, I probably did not understand the full story behind how Swami helped him choose chemistry, right? And the beauty with which Swami guided him, saying that we are in a position to achieve whatever we want, provided we follow what Swami says with the complete conviction. And second thing, I think we have Dr. Anilkumar. Sairam, have you back, Sairam?
Yeah.
Sairam, we were talking about two horses. Do not ride two horses.
Yeah.
Think about that, Sairam. Yeah.
So, this was Swami used to call us after morning interview. Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Sairam. Yes.
You are able to hear?
Yes, Sairam. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as I was telling you, we were living in Mandir. Four or five of us, that batch who joined for PhD. The Swami used to call us after morning interview. 8:30 or so, Swami used to finish his interview with devotees. So there's a gap and bless us with an opportunity and call us inside the interview room. So one such day, Bhagwan called us, and one of our brothers wasn't there. He came little later. We were already, three of us were inside. Swami was speaking to us. That boy slowly came inside the interview room, opened the door and got in and sat. Then Swami looked at him and very lovingly said, "Why are you late?" Then he also gave a sheepish smile. He went out somewhere, so he gave some sheepish smile. Then Bhagwan said, "Are you thinking that Bhagwan is everywhere and therefore you don't need to necessarily come and sit for darshan all the time?" So it was a very tricky question. If you really see, can you say no, Bhagwan is not there everywhere? So he somehow he didn't know what to do. He said, "Yes, Swami, Bhagwan is everywhere, and therefore, so rest of it continues. Therefore, I don't need to sit all the time in Mandir." Then Swami made a beautiful statement. He said, "See, this is the mistake you are doing. Don't do this mistake of thinking," because at that time Swami was physically with us. Swami said, "Either you think I am physically here in this body, right? Connect to me like this and be mad after this physical connection, or look at me everywhere all the time and live in that consciousness. Don't try that. Okay, so this is the answer for this. If you believe totally that everything that is happening is by the will of God, then a question of good and bad doesn't come, right? So if you are not believing that, then there is a good, Adi Shankaracharya says a beautiful analogy he gives. As long as you are swimming in a river, there is a left bank and a right bank. Okay, you are leaving one bank and moving to another bank. But once you have crossed the river, what is the left bank? What is the right bank? There is no good, there is no bad. Right? So either we say that we have crossed the river, or we say we are in the river. We have to be very clear. If we are in the river, then I am doing the mistake. I am doing the right thing. I am praying to Bhagwan to lead me on the right path. I am constantly putting effort to be good. No, I have gone to the other stage where I say, no, everything, I am just an instrument. I believe in it totally. I feel it. Everything is Bhagwan's wish. Then this person doing good, is this person doing bad? Why is bad happening to me? Why is good happening to me? Nothing exists. We become instrument totally, right? So we devotees tend to do. We conveniently shift from one to another, and keep getting confused. So we have to be having that clarity. This analogy which always helps me. Am I still swimming, or have I crossed the river? If I cross the river, it's a different matter. If I'm still swimming, then there is a good, there is a bad for me. And to my knowledge, I am swimming. I have still not crossed the river. So for me, there's a good and there's a bad.
Great. Saram, two more questions and then we will close this. Some of them have asked, can you please repeat what Swami told about how to study chemistry? Swami told you how to study.
I already explained to you. Do it as my worship, Swami said.
Beautiful. Yes. I want
not only
the horse's mouth.
Not only chemistry.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
No, we wanted to hear from horse's mouth. So that's why we wanted to repeat
it. So not only chemistry, I would say everything that we do it as his worship. I think that will be the secret of success. A chemistry, a subject which was a mystery all the time for me, became quite simple because it is being done as his worship.
So one last question. Has Swami specifically talked to you about when and how to chant Vedam and the importance of Vedam, so we can reinforce that importance of Vedam once again in our minds?
Specifically, Swami has not told when and how to chant, but Swami told physically, personally, that Vedam should be chanted. Because when Upanayam was done, after Bhagwan blessed, we had Swami's grace, he blessed with interview room personal Upanayam. So he did Upanayam, he created the Yajnopavitram himself and put it. And then after the Gayatri Mantra Upadesh, Swami said Vedam has to be chanted. So Vedam Gayatri is Vedamata. Gayatri you should chant, you should also learn Vedam and chant Vedam. So that is the message that I got. When and how, I think we have to learn it from the Veda, from the scriptures, as well as from the Pandits and the scholars who are there, who tell us how, and we have to follow, I would say we have to strictly follow the norms laid down by our scriptures, by our forefathers, of how to chant, when to chant, how it has to be followed, because Vedas are powerful vibrations. So if they are not done with proper care, they can also lead to danger. So we have to be very clear, we have to be careful about it. We should do it with proper care. We should do it with as much Shraddha as possible. This I believe. Vedam.
Very nice, Sairam. Thank you for the excellent words of wisdom and also sharing some of those experiences which we would love to hear again and again. I would like to conclude with two thoughts that I thought would be really important for us to take away from the satsang. I was saying Agnya and Shakti is from Bhagavan himself. And so we are just the doer and we are a mere instrument in his hands. And so beautifully you said, harmonium does not play by itself. So we are just the harmonium and Bhagavan plays through us whatever music he wills. And so if we are able to have that maturity and conviction, I think life will be a lot more simpler and easier. And hopefully with Swami's grace, we will soon get out of this pandemic situation and go back to our ways of being with Swami. With a small prayer, we can conclude this beautiful satsang. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय भोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai